people used to ask me, say, Glenn, why are you running for the legislature? And one of the stories I used to say is back in 2001, I was sitting at our family farm, and we used to farm a significant amount of rice. Rice takes a lot of water to irrigate and grow. And so that means we have a lot of irrigation wells. And so we have to buy a lot of diesel to run those irrigation wells, to pump the water to grow the rice. And I got this form in the mail. It was a bunch of papers, and I opened the envelope and pulled them out. And the legislature had changed the way you actually apply for a tax identification number with the comptroller's office. And I looked through the forms, and there was a whole bunch of them, and I really couldn't understand which form am I supposed to fill out. And so at the top it said 1-800-HOTLINE. And I thought, well, I'm going to call the hotline then. I know what I'm going to do. So I had my piece of paper, and I wrote down the date, the time. I have to take notes. Get my age, you got to take a lot of notes, so you tend to forget. So I took some notes, wrote down, and called, and I don't remember if it was a gentleman or a lady, and I said, you know what I was trying to do, I need to fill these forms, I can't understand the forms, and the person said, well, this is the one, you know, CP47, whatever the number was, and I wrote it down and said, oh yes, thank you so much, appreciate it, and I hung up the phone. Looking through, well, it was talking about if you're an airport. Well, we had a grass landing strip, but we're not an airport, we don't have lights, we don't have hangars, we don't even have an airplane, we hire somebody to do this. And so I thought, well, that's not me. So what am I going to do? I'll call the hotline again. So I called the hotline again. I got a different person. I wrote down their name just so I could have it for memories. I didn't ask for the first person because they didn't give you the right information. So I thought, well, I'll try the second person. I talked to the second person, wrote it down. About that time, my cousin came in. It was getting close to lunch, and he wanted to know if I'd buy him lunch. So he came in, and what are you doing? And I said, well, I told him what I was doing. And I said, well, I guess let me look through. And I don't remember, I think the second form was if you had a fuel distribution business. We didn't have a fuel distribution business. The only thing we did was take the fuel to the engine or to our tractors, and that was about it. Well, that didn't apply. He said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I'm going to call again. I called a third, a fourth, and a fifth time. Do you know how many people I talked to? 5. You know how many answers I got? 5. You're a smart group of folks. 5 different answers. That gives you just a little bit of taste of what people have to deal with sometimes with bureaucracy and regulations. And I'm not saying that the world should be completely free, but the fact is people should be able to have common sense, stability, and know what they can do to be able to go out, create jobs, and to be able to provide for their family and provide for other families.